Hey guys, how's it going? It's Coaster Candy here, and today I'm going to rank the top 13 roller coasters at Hershey Park, excluding Coco Cruiser, because I've never rode that ride before, so it's going to be excluded from this list. Sorry about that. Starting off with number 13, we got the Mild Mouse. It's called the Wild Mouse, but this ride is super duper mild. It's just not that good of a ride. You see these at carnivals all the time. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just boring. All it's got is you go really slow on the straightaway and really fast in the turn, and a couple little dips here and there. Like, it's just, I don't know why you'd waste your time riding this. I mean, ride it at Carnival. Don't ride it if you're going to be going to a big-ass place like Hershey Park. Like, there's no point. And it feels like you're going to fall off. I guess that's a thrill of this thing. I don't know. I just don't like it. I just think there's so many other things I'd rather do at Hershey Park than ride this thing. Like, this ride, I don't know. The seats are kind of small because this ride is meant for little kids, so I can hardly even fit in the seat. I remember that. Like, the lap part, it's just not very big. And this ride, there's just not a whole lot of fun with it. There's so many good rides at Hershey Park. Why would you ever ride this ride? Like, I just do not understand. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the biggest hill right there. It's just, it sucks. Let's be real. It's a fucking shitty-ass ride that nobody ever wants to ride. It was closed down all season, or it was at least closed when I was there. And I don't think anybody really noticed unless if they went that way, because nobody was going to Hershey Park to ride the Wild Mouse. This ride is terrible. Why would you ride this ride? It's absolutely pathetic. All right, and at number 12, we got the Comet. And man, this ride is rough. It will break your back. Do not ride this thing more than once per visit, or else you'll have a broken back. Turns are really rough. The hills are really rough. The restraints just dig into your stomach. This ride is like a living hell. Like, if you want to know what hell feels like, ride this thing like 5 times a day, and you'll be crippled by the end of the day. You'll need to be hauled off on a stretcher. This thing is so rough. I mean, I get that it's like the oldest ride at Hershey Park, and it's kind of like sentimental, but I don't know. That don't mean shit to me. If the ride sucks, I ain't riding it. I mean, the ride right to the left of it there, Sky Rush, absolutely a million times better ride. Ride that instead, because this ride often has long waits, which I do not understand why, because this ride absolutely sucks. But a lot of times the lines are like over an hour, which is bonkers to me, because I don't know, it's just not a good ride. Just don't ride it. Ride Lightning Racer, hell, even ride Wildcat. That's how bad this thing is. So yeah, that's what I gotta say about this. Not much good stuff. I'll say that. Man, this next ride coming in at number 11, Laff Trakk. You will not be laughing much on this ride, because man, it's not that much fun, to be honest. I mean, it's pretty psychedelic, I'll say that. A lot of trippy lights. That's like the best thing about it. When you're in line, there's a bunch of mirrors that like make you look fat as fuck, tall as hell. So, I mean, those are pretty cool. But man, the ride itself, it's just dizzy. If you eat food before you go on this, like, you will not have a good time. You'll probably throw up on the ride. So, I mean, this ride, I mean, it really has long lines too. Like, the lines, they'll be out the door sometimes. Like, it's ridiculous how long the lines on this thing get. I mean, when Hershey Park announced they were building an indoor roller coaster, I was really excited. They really got my hopes up until I saw this, and I was really disappointed. Like, this ride, it's just not worth it. Like, there's so many better options. Like, I don't know. I mean, in Hershey Park, you got a lot of competition, I'll say that. And this ride doesn't live up to the hype. All right, next, I think this is number 10. We got the Trailblazer. And this ride, I mean, it's kind of a family roller coaster. It's kind of kiddish, so if you're an adult, you might not enjoy this too much. But man, when I was 5 years old, I absolutely adored this ride. This was one of my favorite roller coasters at the time. And I mean, it's gotten a little rough over the years, I'll say that. When it goes to break at the end, like, it feels like you're gonna fucking die as hard as the brakes hit. Like, you feel like you're just gonna fly up. But I mean, this ride, it's still a lot of fun. I always ride every time I go to Hershey Park. This is probably the first ride I won't be just shit talking the whole time, because this ride's actually not bad. I mean, if this was at any other theme park, it'd probably be, I don't know, top 7, top 8. But like I say, Hershey Park, there's a lot of competition. I mean, there's 14 roller coasters, and I think only 3 or 4 of them are considered bad, in my opinion. So this ride, I mean, it's fun. It's just enjoyable. Like, you do like a little helix, You have a little bit of airtime here and there, not a whole lot. I mean, it's a fun ride to stick your hands up around the turns because you feel like you're gonna hit the ground at this next part. Like it's so low to the ground that's unreal. Like you could probably touch the ground if you wanted to. I mean, I wouldn't suggest it though. Your hand might fall off, but man, it's just a fun ride. I mean, not the most thrilling ride, but if you get to Hershey Park and you got a lot of extra time, definitely give this thing a spin because it is fun. And it often has like very little weight. So yeah. All right, coming in at number 9, we got the Wildcat. And this ride, I mean, it's really rough if I'm being honest with you. I mean, for me being 25 years old, built in 1996, it is really rough, I'll say that. But the thing that puts this thing over Comet is the layout is really cool. Like, you got a lot of like nice little turns. You got some nice airtime. Like, it's not just boring hills, little turns. Like, this thing is, it's aggressive, I'll say that. Like, for a wooden roller coaster, this thing is fast. It's a lot faster than it looks. It only goes 50 miles per hour, but it feels like you're going about 70. It just flies through the course. Definitely flies like a Wildcat, I'll say that. I mean, I wouldn't call this thing the Wildcat like I'd call the Wild Mouse. But, yeah, it's a good ride. I mean, it's got a lot of potential. If they RMC this will be arguably the best roller coaster in Hershey Park. It's got to put some work into it, and it will be really, really good. Because, I mean, the potential's there. They just got to work on it. So, overall, decent ride. All right, and number 8, we got the Super Dooper Looper. That's right. This is the first ride I ever rode at Hershey Park. First roller coaster, I should say. I don't remember what the first ride was. Probably the Chocolate Town ride. But yeah, this ride, it's got a pretty intense loop. I mean, going down that hill, I mean, that loop, I mean, it gets pretty intense. I remember when I was 5 years old, I was scared to death of this ride. Or not 5, maybe like 3 or 4. But man, this ride, like, it is a lot of fun. I ride every single time I go to Hershey Park. Got a nice little tunnel there. I couldn't ride it 3 weeks ago when I was at Hershey because, I mean, it was closed for some reason. I don't know why. There was a couple rides that were closed. I'll get more on that later. But, I mean, this ride overall, it's just good. Nice little family coaster. If you're just starting out for roller coasters, this is absolutely perfect. Even if you're not, if you go to Hershey Park, definitely ride this. The lines do get long at times, but it is definitely worth it. All right, now we're getting into the bigger roller coasters. Here at number 7, we got Sidewinder, and this is your classic boomerang coaster. That's right. It's a lot of fun, especially if you sit in the front because you just don't know when you're gonna drop. When you go backwards, not quite as fun, but it's still kind of cool. This ride has some pretty cool elements. The thing I like about this ride is the line goes pretty slow at times because there's only one train on the track at once. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say about this ride. Like, it's not great, but it's not bad here. It's kind of in between. Like, I don't know. This seems like a pretty good spot for it just because the rides above it are definitely way better, but the rides below are definitely way worse. All right, coming in at number 6, this is where the list gets really, really spicy. This is one of the best rides in Hershey Park. It was hard for me to rank this, like 4 through 6. I would say you can, like, change around, but eventually, I chose this one at number 6. I do like it a lot. I love how low to the ground it is. It kind of gives me a Maverick-like feel. Definitely not as good as Maverick, but it is really good. It's got a really steep drop. It's got some nice inversions, and it's got a little launch right there, if you can see. It's just a good ride. I really like it a lot. I mean, I think it's a little bit overrated. Like, I think some people overrate it a little bit, but it is a good ride. It's a lot of fun, and it's fast and steep and good ride. Really good ride. Grrr! Coming in at number 5, we got the Great Bear. And man, this thing is a whole lot of fun. It's an inverted roller coaster. You hang. So I don't know if you guys have ever rode one like this, but it's kind of like the Raptor, kind of like, I wouldn't say it's like Volcano. That thing launches, but similar in rides to those. It's right. It's really fun. I mean, it's one of the biggest rides, like one of the first big rides I rode, I would say. I mean, it's really fun. I mean, it's fast, goes over the water, it's got great inversions, it's smooth, it's got nice restraints. This is what I would call a phenomenal ride. I mean, that's what this is. This is a Great Bear. So, I mean, this is just a really good ride. Definitely ride if you go to Hershey Park. Ride it more than once. Ride it in the front, ride it in the back, ride it in the middle. It's right. It's just really fucking tits. All right, next up we got Lightning Racer, and this is by far the best wooden roller coaster at Hershey Park, and it is not even close. This is the best wooden roller coasters in the world, I would say. This ride is absolutely fantastic. Super smooth, great airtime. It's got really awesome tunnel. I love the racing element. It just adds so much more fun to it, looking at the other people as you're passing them. Always pick Lightning, though. That one wins 90% of the time, I notice. But yeah, this is just a phenomenal ride. It feels really fast when you're on it. It kind of feels like Wildcat. It feels like you're going way faster than you actually are. And this ride, I mean, it's just great. It's a great wood. I mean, I'm not really much of a wooden roller coaster fan, but I will ride this ride like 3 or 4 times when I go to Hershey Park if I can. I didn't get to ride it the last time because it closed down, but I wish I could have. But it's a fun ride, and you gotta ride it. If you're in Hershey Park, you gotta ride it. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. And there's the checkered flag right there. All right, next up at the 3rd spot, we got Sky Rush, and this ride is so much fun. I know a lot of people don't like the restraints, but I absolutely love this ride. It's so much fun, so intense going down the first hill into the first turn. Love how it goes over the water the whole time. Got so many good twists and turns. Just such a good ride. I mean, especially on the outside, feels like you're floating. This is one of the most intense rides in the world, I would say. At least a lot of people have it ranked that way. I mean, I don't think it's the most intense ride. I don't even think it's top 5 intense rides, but it is very fun, very smooth, very fast. I don't know. It's just great. I mean, ride this ride if you go to Hershey Park. Ride this ride. If you don't, you wasted your money going to Hershey Park. Coming in at number 2, we got Willy Wonka's Candemonium. Willy Wonka's ride, the chocolate ride. We got Candemonium, new for 2020. This ride is absolutely fantastic. Got great airtime, got great hills, got a nice steep drop. The restraints are just like Nitros. It was really hard for me to pick between this and Sky Rush just because, I don't know, I like them pretty much equally. I had to go with Candemonium, though, because it's 1 miles per hour faster. This is 76. Sky Rush 75. That was the decider right there. Gotta go with the more speed, right? But yeah, this ride, it's silky smooth. It's just a good ride. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. That fountain right there says it all. I mean, this is a beautiful ride. Hershey Park did a fantastic job building this, and I'm glad I could ride it in 2020. So yeah, it's great. All right, coming in at number 1, we got Storm Roar. Woo! Blast off! Woo! This ride is absolutely fantastic. It might be the shortest ride in Hershey Park, but it is so much fun. Going for these twists and turns, blasting off, going for that big hill. I mean, this ride is absolutely fantastic. This twist up here says it all. I mean, that's one of the best elements I've ever been on. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it so much. Stay tuned for more videos. Thumbs up.